And we will actually be having a Twitch commercial coming up very soon. While we're setting up this next game, I just want to give a special shout out to MagFest. MagFest is short for Music and Gaming Festival. They create events that provide a means for people to enjoy games and music concerts. They have many events a year, and you can check out magfest.org for more information. I also want to give a special shout out to Pinball Joe. Not only is he donating a pinball cabinet for a raffle prize, as you can see on the screen right now. If you're looking for a different way to donate to the Cancer Foundation, head over to the Pinball Done Quick side stream at twitch.tv/pinballjoe and subscribe now. I also want to give a big thank you to World 9 Gaming for providing all the PCs in the practice room, as well as many different CRTs as well. They have dedicated staff, tournament expertise, and a large collection of retro games and consoles. They are the best gaming experience at the lowest costs for all events, large and small. Be sure to check them out at world9gaming.com. Also, special thanks to the Yeti, the official clothing sponsor of AGDQ 2016. They have their store up right now for a bunch of Games Done Quick shirts at theyeti.com/AGDQ.
Yes.
And everyone get ready for Outlast, featuring St. Connor.
You guys ready? All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. My name's St. Connor. This is Outlast. So a lot of you guys gave a donation for the 80% all chapters, which is where I'll be running. To briefly explain what that is, 80% is obviously beat the game as fast as possible, but that's kind of boring, to be honest, because it's really just like one trick, and you're pretty much at the end of the game. All chapters, on the other hand, you have to visit at least one checkpoint in each chapter, and there are 8 chapters in the game. So right now we're in the admin block, the first chapter of the game. So right away, we're going to do a trick we call the wall rider. What it does is it briefly shrinks your hitbox. And then when you're pressed up against a wall and you neutral jump, for some reason when a neutral jump in this game jumps forward slightly, and with your hitbox shrunken down, it pushes the hitbox through the wall. So it allows us to do silly things like go out of bounds. Also, hurtling objects does the same effect. So you can use doors or desks or basically anything to get out of bounds here. So that first little bit drops us down to the basement, allows us to hit a couple switches to turn the power back on. Also there, the active frames of the door, if you close it just right, you can still walk through it in the early frames of it being closed. The main reason why I want to do that there is that guy banging on the door, if he comes in the door or I come out of the room early before he gets there, he'll chase me in this entire sequence. I don't exactly want that because I need to be able to do this safely without him taking a swing at me. There we go. Because he can kind of mess up the trick as I'm trying to get through the wall. Because he'll take a swing at me and it'll hit me through the wall and kind of get me stuck in the wall. We don't want that, so. So you'll see me do a lot of save and exit as well. In the bottom left, you'll see like a saving, and certain checkpoints kind of progress me through the game. So we're now in the prison block, which is the second chapter. This block is pretty short, but there's a quick cinematic and stuff. So if you want to read a quick donation, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, sure thing. We have an anonymous $5 donation. GDQ Hype, hello from Australia. I thought I would donate before I head off to work or head off to bed to work in the morning to get more money to donate again. Don't go baking my heart and kill those animals.
Cool. So we're going to do another door boost, which is what I've been doing. Kind of what you'll see is I'll hop on the door and it'll actually push me on top of the ceiling. The way that works is when doors are actually opening, they're not active, like solid. So I can release the door. I'll do a quick peek, release the door, jump away from it, and jump back into the frames as it's loading again, and it will pop me onto the roof here. Also, they kind of made a mistake of putting a save point right behind where you start. So that's the second chapter done already, and we're now in the sewers. So very quick chapter. You'll see a lot of door boosting. It'll happen quite often. Oops. Right. There we go. So walking around here can be a little tricky because it looks like I'm kind of off the edge there. If I actually take a couple wrong steps, I'll fall. So I want to be extremely careful of where I'm jumping. And a small little thing here is water generally slows down your movement speed, but jumping kind of negates that. So you can just jump through the water and make things a lot faster. We got a little bit before we get to the mail ward, so you can go ahead and read a couple donations if you want.
Sure thing. We have a $50 donation from MoonIX2K. Lost my best friend to cancer last year. He fought till his last breath. Watching this event helped me a lot. Save the animals, boys.
Alright, so now we're coming up on the mail ward here. And we'll do what's called a slope jump. Stairs aren't really built as stairs. They just kind of put ramps on them for the hitboxes. So at the very tip, if you jump, it keeps your momentum at the top of the ramp, so you can actually get a little extra height. So it allows me to get on that rail and pop out of bounds. There is actually a faster strat for this, but I'm not entirely comfortable with it. So I'm doing a little bit more marathon safe strat, just so we can kind of keep it easy. So kind of the next thing here is I'll do a vent hover. There's a little opening in the vent where I'm actually supposed to drop, but we're not going to do that. We can kind of go past it and go out of bounds that way. There we go. So when I go out here and I get on top of these pipes, I'm actually between the floor of one room and the ceiling of another. So we can kind of hop through into the floor above us and press right through the kitchen of the mail ward and go right into the courtyard. So very quickly, 4 chapters down already. Also, the game kind of procedurally loads, and kind of what that means is the entire map itself is built. But in order to kind of save memory so the game doesn't lag and stuff like that, they only load what's necessary as you go along in the game. And as you skip things, certain checkpoints and stuff like that aren't completely loaded, like that one right there. As you saw, it kind of turned black. So once you hit that save point, you kind of have to do a little save and exit strats. So we're going to use another wall rider here outside the courtyard. Almost went too good. So normally, like, you would run into like the railing of the fence, but I was so deep into the wall it kind of skipped that, so I was a little stunned by that. But yeah, that kind of skips like a whole sequence of like a lot of ledge jumping and climbing up on roofs and stuff like that. So it skips a good portion of the courtyard. Helps quite a bit. And but we got a ledge jump here. I'll show you what that is exactly. So Chris is right here. He kind of chases us throughout the game. Kind of similar to like Nemesis in the Resident Evil series. He's kind of constantly chasing you throughout the game. But we'll come up here. So that's a ledge jump. On the ledges, you're supposed to do like a thing where you press your back up against the wall and walk along the ledge. But if you jump at a certain angle, you can kind of just run across it. Also right there, I want Chris to hit me on purpose, or at the very least take a swing at me. Because if he doesn't, once I start to crawl in that hole, he'll grab me and throw me out, which wastes a lot of time, and we don't want that. Alright, so I don't think I got it. Alright, there we go. I might have lost it. Oh, no, I still got it. Cool. Sweet. Thought I lost it for a second. So if I'm doing that glitch and it shrinks down my hitbox, if I'm not pressed up against the wall at a certain distance, it will pop out. Luckily, I managed to keep it and save it, so we're good. It's gonna be a little tricky sometimes because it's so small to hurdle over. I did it just right, so I can get pressed up against the wall. That should be it right there. Cool, we're in there. So we were just in the female ward. That's now over. Now we're in the return to admin block, the 7th chapter, just before the last chapter. So coming up in the hallway, we'll face Chris again. So there's a little bit of faster strat where you can try to jump past Chris, but he'll hit you. And there's like a little bit of delay between enemies when they take a swing at you. And you can get in this room and kind of do the trick I'm about to do, but we're going to do this a little bit easier way. So we don't like dealing with Chris. So there's this fun little trick where if you crouch, he won't take a swing at you. And he just kind of resets his attack timer. So you can kind of just crouch up and down, and constantly reset his attack timer, and he won't take a swing at you, which is pretty helpful in getting past him. And you can do it to any enemy in the game. It's not just Chris. So one last door boost here. Oh, I think I missed it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to fall and hit a checkpoint that goes to the last chapter in the game. But there is actually an invisible floor just outside the elevator area that I gotta be wary of. So I jumped a little wrong positioned. So I kind of killed myself accidentally. Oops. Get my position right. There we go. Alright, so now we're in the last chapter. The last chapter is actually about half the run. It's pretty straightforward. There's not really many tricks, at least not yet. So feel free to read quite a few donations if you got them.
We have one at least, $20 anonymous donation. Many times watching, first time donating. Awesome work, guys, and save those animals.
Cool, so this is the last chapter of the game. It's an underground lab. I guess in development of this game, as they were progressing through the game and kind of finishing it out and stuff, I guess there were like a lot of issues with the last chapter, so they threw like a lot of invisible walls all over the place. So unfortunately that kind of keeps us from breaking this last chapter a lot. So it ends up being much longer than like the rest of the run. But there's still one more cool trick. Just kind of a little flashy. If I can get this to trigger, there we go. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cinematics in this scene, in this chapter 2, that we can't exactly avoid. We've tried all the door boosting we can, but unfortunately it's just not that broken. So this will be the last we see of Chris, even though we haven't really seen him that much. So that shadowy figure there is what is called the Wall Rider in this game. You can see my shirt, the Wall Rider Project. It's kind of like this experimental thing that goes on under this insane asylum, where they try to make insane people into super soldiers, and it doesn't quite work out for them. Who knew? So unfortunately, this is the conversation with Wernicke. It's kind of a long conversation. It's like a minute and a half of just dialogue. Unfortunately, we have to wait for him. We're trying to find ways to skip past it. There's actually a door down the hallway he opens up for us with a save point behind it, but we haven't been able to trigger that save point. If we could, that would actually skip this whole section, but fortunately, for the time being, we had to sit here and listen to a minute and a half of nothing.
So we have a $30 donation from Bumcow. My mom will be cleared of cancer this year. I've been watching these events since the beginning and never thought it would impact me personally. I feel like donating all this time was good karma. Good job to all the runners and the awesome cause.
So since I got a little bit of time, I guess, I'm just messing around, I'll give quick shout-outs. So shout out to Wrong Warp, which actually got me into this game. It got me pretty heavy into speedrunning in general. Let's see, Black for Life, I know he's watching. We've done commentary a couple times. Let's see, there's Optic. There's a bunch of people. I know for the French restream right now, Yumu is actually doing commentary for that. So thank you very much for that and commentary for that. I hope you're enjoying this. Also another French player, Daoshin. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Shout out to him too. Also shout outs to Red Barrels. I'm sorry I broke your game, but it's a lot of fun. And speaking of which, I know they recently announced about 2 months ago, I think, Outlast 2, so I'm super stoked for that. It'll probably be out around the Halloween time next year. We'll see if it's as broken. So right now it's just a lot of running, a lot of being chased. biggest thing about the last chapter, though, is just really optimization. You want to get your running down to where you're cutting corners properly, like opening specific doors. Like I'm opening doors so when I have to backtrack, it's faster to run through them than the opposite door, which would, like a couple frames here and there. It's not huge strats or anything like that, but it's save those frames. Also, you may have noticed me jumping a lot. The main reason for that is, like, if you constantly jump, you don't maintain the speed, but your first jump is always your longest and fastest. So it's actually faster than running. However, you can't consistently do it. So we do it towards objects where we'll have to stop for a second, like opening doors or turning levers and stuff like that. So it's just, again, one of those things to save frames over the course of the run. So we're going to climb a series of stairs, like 10 stories of stairs, and then we'll be into the last serious trick of the game. I like to call it the Superman jump, and you'll kind of see here for a little bit why. That's not it, by the way. Just so you know. So get on this desk here. That saves us some backtracking. We just kind of jump into the cutscene rather than going all the way back downstairs through the cleaning room, waiting for that to load, stuff like that. So saves a little bit of time. It's a nice, fun little trick. So from this point, upon hitting that switch, it's about 1 minute 45 seconds before I get to the last like loss of control of character. We'll stop the time. We do some stumbling around and stuff like that. So got a little bit, but gotta go through the schematic real quick.
So I have a quick $10 donation from Quis Gaubla. Hi, I'm a Swiss guy, also from Geneva, Switzerland. It's really awesome cause and a perfect way to kill my productivity this week.
So as you can see, I'm kind of missing my fingers that I weren't missing earlier. We actually skip a whole entire section where you run into Dr. Traeger, who gives you a long-winded speech and cuts off your fingers. Very, very nice of him to do that. But as you hit checkpoints in the game, after you've skipped it, and reload the game's like, this should have happened already. So let's go ahead and fix that and just take away your fingers. Same with the broken camera. There's another section where I'll lose the camera and it breaks, and I go to retrieve it, but we skip that as well. So the last little walking around here, as soon as my hands hit the floor, that will be time. So it's coming up here shortly. And time.
2039.
2039? Okay. I'm happy with that. A couple of silly mistakes that kind of cost me some time, but you know, for a marathon, it's actually pretty good. All right, so another thing you guys donated for is called the Wheelchair to Heaven, and what that is kind of a glitch showcase. I'm just gonna go through and just delete the stuff because it's easier to get through. So I mentioned Dr. Traeger, and what exactly happens with the wheelchair to heaven is we have to go through the whole cinematic of speaking with Dr. Traeger. So it's kind of long, but it's well worth it in the end. Yeah, it serves a purpose. Also, it's really cool to see, just for the simple fact that I skip all these really great characters, and Dr. Traeger is a pretty cool character. He's pretty witty in his humor, even though it's like really dark.
Let's take a break, huh, buddy? The old 2-martini lunch? Have a little confab, blah, blah. Heavier than you look. A little cardio wouldn't kill you. Okay, here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times.
Yeah, so another big reason why I wanted to do this, and I'm really happy you guys donated for, is a good friend of mine, Albino Hat, Dan Mercado, recently passed away in September with his own battle with cancer. He had it before, he managed to fight it off, but couldn't quite do it the second time. But this was actually a glitch he discovered back when we used to play a lot, and he was just kind of messing around and stuff. So I just really kind of wanted to do it, kind of in honor of him, and just something that to share with you guys, something that he gave to us and stuff. So I'm really appreciative for you guys donating for that. Also, Trigger's got a nice, fun line right here about this dude with no tongue.
I'm not putting that tongue to any use anyway. Truth be told, I was just tired of licking my own stance. Here we are then.
So, fair warning, there's a little bit of gore involved in getting my finger cut off, obviously. Also, there's a very gruesome naked butt, so be aware of that, I guess.
And it'll give us a chance to talk.
There you go.
You know, I'm a bit worried how much time you've been spending with Father Martin. I hope you haven't been letting him confuse you with all his holier-than-thou Bible thumping. No offense to the man, but I sometimes worry he might just be a little bit crazy.
Something I forgot to show off too. Before this sequence, like before I shake in the wheelchair, if I turn the camera to the very far, like deep bottom left, when the camera pans out, you'll kind of see that Miles doesn't have a head. It's just like a neck hole. I guess something that they did to kind of save some effort. When you come run into Chris, he'll occasionally grab you and like rip your head from your body. But instead of just like ripping your head off, he rips your body from your head. So he kind of does the opposite. So like the camera view is like seeing your body like kind of dangling in his hands. So I guess the shortcut that they took, so they didn't have to like deal with all that animation and stuff like that, is you're actually just a camera on a headless body. So just kind of interesting tidbit.
Better, right? Here's the only cheat here. We made a consumer into the means of production. This thing is gonna sell itself.
Alright, so we're gonna start the process for the glitch here. Something I'm going to do too is a guy by the name of Phenoth. He's a Finnish runner for this game who's put a ton of work into this game. Something he did is kind of map the controls for like the kind of some of the dev kit stuff, so we can see hitboxes and stuff like that, and kind of help us learn tricks and find new stuff as we go along. So I'm gonna turn that on to kind of show you what I'm seeing as I run and stuff like that, when I talk about shrinking hitboxes and stuff like that, so you can kind of see what's going on. I gotta wait for this speech, unfortunately. If you got another donation, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, sure thing. We have an anonymous $75 donation. Thank you to all the runners and the people behind the scenes at GDQ. I've had multiple family members beat cancer, and I don't want anyone else to go through that. Kill cancer and the animals. Also a $30 donation from Martin94. Shout out from Latvia to all the runners.
Alright, so we went past Traeger here. Alright, so we'll turn on the hitboxes so you can kind of see what's going on here. So you kind of see this red box around me. That's my hitbox, obviously. You can kind of see everything when I'm running out of bounds. I can run on the ceiling, stuff like that. Get this lined up just properly. Okay. I'm going to take my time because I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Cool. So I do it this way just because it's a little bit faster. Normally I'd have to run around and get chased by Traeger. I just do it, just get to right where I need to be. So let's jump past him. He's right behind me, yep. Oh. Alright, cool. As long as I get in the elevator, that's all that matters.
I'm not giving up on you.
So there's the gruesome death of Dr. Traeger. Ripping pieces. Alright, now this is where the fun begins. So when you open and close doors, stuff like that, your hitbox kind of disappears. Well, it doesn't actually disappear, it just shrinks really small. So now you can see my hitbox is super tiny. And this allows me to get in places I shouldn't be. So I'll take my time around here. Oh, I fell really early. Well, I messed that up. So because I died there, I would have to go through the whole cinematic again. So unfortunately, I just watched the whole thing. So GG me. What would have happened is I go back to the dumbwaiter where I first meet Traeger, and I trigger where I open it, and the game, because I go through the whole thing and like he wheelchairs me out, the game tries to put me into the wheelchair, except it's not there anymore. So it moves me all around the place and kind of up and down throughout the game. So unfortunately, I messed up, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing of trying to show it off again. So sorry about that. But yeah, I guess that's it. So thanks.